I looked at that as quite a positive evening for you as a manager. You've got young players out there, making their debut. You brought another young player on. You've got players coming back from injury. Jordan Moore-Taylor getting 45 minutes. It's a positive night, isn't it?
It is. It's a clean sheet. It's a win. Jordan Moore-Taylor, after 9 months, puts the shirt back on again and plays very well for 45 minutes. Temptation was to keep him on, but I'd kick myself if I'd left him on and something could happen. So played him for 45. Matti Sorinola did exceptionally well as a young first-year pro and made some really good football decisions out on the pitch. So could have scored one or two more. We could have conceded one or two, but there are positives there. I mean, it's you're changing the team every minute at the moment, it seems. So and today it was about those positives you mentioned, and a win, and we needed a goal and a win, so we got one. It's
interesting because the Stevenage game, we talked about how important it was to get that win because of the period that you were going through. You got that win. Perhaps this can do the same. This can just kick you off again.
Let's hope so.
Yeah,
let's hope so. It's good for Kieran to score, of course, and there were one or two players playing 90 minutes today that arguably could have done with the rest, like one or two others. So it was almost an impossible decision as a manager which players to rest. You don't want to completely devalue the game because it's an important game for us, because you never know what's around the corner in this competition. You can suddenly creep upon quite an exciting competition if you go through the round. So I'm glad we won, and I feel really pleased for Jordan Moore-Taylor. I mean, through all any comment on the game and any detail, as a manager with a very committed player who's been out for 9 months, I'm delighted for him.
It's going to take a bit of time for him to get back though. I mean, that's his first 45 minutes after 9 months. It's going to take weeks, isn't it, for him to be the Jordan Moore-Taylor that we knew? Yeah,
there's a big difference between being 95% fit and 100% fit. There's a big difference, and there's all sorts of intangibles within that. But he made the first step today, and he's made of the right stuff. He'll think correctly, and when you think correctly, eventually you'll begin to act correctly, and he'll do that in time. So delighted he was out there today. Really pleased for him.
Young Matthew obviously got a standing ovation when he went off, and that was a great, lovely moment for him, I think, because he did play well. One or two tackles maybe were interesting, and he got
a tackle.
Well, I don't know what it was.
I don't know what to say, to be honest. I mean, the irony was Danny Butterfield. You're talking about the sort of the stopped counter-attack tackle.
Yeah, I said during commentary, you sometimes you take one for the team with a bit more subtlety.
Yes, perfectly put. The irony was Danny Butterfield was warning him about 20 seconds before that happened. This might happen, Matty. This might happen, and be ready. Be ready. You need to move your position a little bit here. And of course, Danny's experience sort of gave us not quite Matty where he should have been, maybe, and it wasn't very subtle. But he did really well. Played 70 minutes. I think he's gone off for a cramp in the end, which is not a surprise for someone who hasn't played much football, but he's a young, talented player. Really pleased with what he did on the pitch. He made some lovely decisions. He's a really good footballer. Diminutive, but makes up for it with all the speed of his thought, and he's hungry to get the ball, and that counts for a lot.
Just finally on Matthew, how important are nights like this? Not just from a football perspective, so he's actually kicking the ball, just being in front of a crowd with the first team. It's all part of his development, isn't it?
They're all stepping stones, and you have to go through these. There aren't many players that just sort of drop in,
no,
and it just takes off, and it's just one straight line to success. You've got to go through, as a young footballer, all sorts of peaks and troughs and long spells of hoping and wishing and wondering whether it'll ever happen for you. So a night like tonight just pushes him on a little bit and gives him the confidence, and who knows how important that confidence will be if that moment comes again for him in an important game for us. So a really, really big moment for him.
And you mentioned Kieran Agard and how important it was for him to get that goal. I think everyone would like to see that, maybe kick him off and get a bit more confidence in him to score.
Yeah, I agree. Wanting is one thing, happening's another, and him scoring a goal and trying really hard and playing 95 minutes, that's what he needs. So when he got a goal, and again, a step forward for him.
Stuart Moore had a difficult time against Liverpool with what happened, and we've already discussed that. I'm not going back over that, but actually I thought he made some very good saves this evening.
He did. He's a good goalkeeper. When we dissected his game a day or two after the Liverpool game, I wasn't at all cross with him for the mistake, because it's a mistake. He's a terrific shot stopper, and what can you say about a mistake like that? There were other parts to his game which you'd be surprised that I was talking about and not picking on, but talking about more so than the mistake. So, because I know that mistake, what can I do? What can I say? But there are other parts to his game which he'll be looking to improve and develop with time. And thank you for bringing it up. So it's a good talking point, actually. The mistake's gone, so maybe that's the last time we'll discuss it. But it has gone now, and it's not something we talk about.
Listen, appreciate your time. I'll let you go. The stewards are coming.
Oh my goodness,
they're coming. They might get me, so I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, they should too. Right.